we'll have a private booth and hot tea on the house. Now, gents, let us away to the Lotus. Bixby ushers you through the door and leads you down the block stairs. The stranger on your heels, like a stub in a shadow. The Red Lotus is draped in haze of pale smoke, dotted with flickering candles and incense glowing like cinders in the night. The smell of burning opium is dark and rich, like the batch of overdone biscuits, with a sharp, fishy afterbite. The pale red glow of the Chinese lanterns painting the space in perpetual twilight. It's easy to lose track of time within these walls, wooing away your days in a blissful waking dream. An opium den. That's cool. What's the gear clattering ratchet? A digital room cuts through the quiet of the den's wet. It's an autonomous. I think I'm wet. I don't know. It's not as if if I can partake. If minotaurs are welcome, then why not 10 willies? Sorry there. Didn't mean to start over. Off it goes, heading for the private section. Alright, I see how it is. Evening, stranger. The dwarf has a warm and amiable look, with the sort of lucid blue eyes. I can't stay angry yet. His gaze is so sharp and clearly intelligent that I find myself intrigued. Below his crystal blue eyes is a broad nose and a red mustache, so full that if it might crawl off his face and build a cocoon. His beard is as red as a skinned rabbit, braided and brass ringed in the common style. A finger of brass ring in my own goatee. It's stringy and coarse compared to his elegant bristles. Little wordy. How do you do? I'm fine. Some kind of inventory? I picked witty for a reason. Just fine. Some kind of inventor, are you? I. Name's Theodore. Theodore Redgrave, Brotherhood of the Boffins. Boffins? Technical experts, often a skill considered to be complex, arcane, and difficult. But call me Teddy, most people do. That's cool. It translates it for you. No clue what a boffin is. Some kind of magician? Boffin, eh? Sounds wonderful as heck. Oh yes, the Royal Society funds all kinds of industrial research nowadays. There's a brotherhood for every branch of science. But I'm with the DA division. Division for Automounts. Let's see. The rickety thing just about scared me witless. You invent things? Gadgets and the like? I like that one. Struth. It's the truth. It's truth. But my eyes aren't what they used to be, so I'm trading this bucket of brass for my apprentice. Donovan cheerfully jets a cloud of steam. That rickety thing was just about scared me witless. Yeah, I like that one. Bless my beard, sorry about that. Your automaton has a name? Yeah, that's his name. This here is Otto. Doesn't care for strangers, but you can't really give him it's part of his programming. Stands to no reason. One must protect himself. Can never be too careful nowadays. So, let's do that one. Whatever phlegm means. Stands to reason. Makes sense. That's funny. One must protect himself. Can never be too careful nowadays. It's truth, and I've heard it. What can I call you, Sir Atticus Daly? Teddy passed the automaton with his fat paw. Mr. Daly, from the both of us, it is a Mr. Daly, from the both of us, it's a pleasure. I was gonna need some tweaks before the brawls, but we'll have him fit as a fiddle by then. Otto's the brawler, eh? So far, he's only watched from the sidelines, but someday he'll fight with another battle trap. See, I'm a hunter of fell, terrible, evil beasts and monsters. After the werewolf fights, those outlaws rush our tattered, whatever. Much easier to take in for the bounty. Only 3 days before the moon is full bellied. Better have a good mind to who you're betting on. Ah, yes, the spit fights. I've been a fair share of those. Boy, I just knew you were a man of culture. Come to think of it, it's actually what yours could make for an opportunity. Would you have an interest joining my docket? I can pay you handsomely, of course. Oh, heck yeah. I won't mind getting my knuckles bloodied at the right price. Take my visiting card, and we'll meet before the moon. Well, I'm pleased to meet your acquaintance. I'll come calling you soon. Yeah, I'll do some money, bro. Wait a moment, if I had a little scrap to sell, would you be interested? Right then. Yeah. Sure, a sight. There's all sorts of gleam in the gutters. Well, let me know what you find, and I'm your man. Cheers, steady. I'll be seeing you. Lattice wooden screens and the high back seating provide some comfort and privacy for those who can afford it. But the booths are made of a luxurious soft calf leather. Ooh, I'm a bull. Well oiled and plush with dimple riveting. Delicate china and exclusive menus of the den's offerings are available for those in more discerning tastes. It seems you're in for a treat on account of the stranger's pocketbook, as fat as a Christmas goose. Let's make the most of it. I'd like to know what the motives. Why invite me here? Whatever your ankle is, there must be something for me. Let me see. I have to admit, I'd rather be in a cozy private booth with vomit, so yeah, that's true. I'd rather do that. I'll eat deathbed right now. It's worth seeing what he's after. Aha! He's still chiming in, as if she had some kind of preferential status. Let's get on with it. Oh, okay. I thought it was just... okay. The menu is embossed with a handsome array of oral morphines, liquid-powered cocaines, and many strains of midnight oil. What's midnight oil? Actually, opium. Teddy seems an interesting chap, and the automaton is quite something, isn't it? Yes, an amusing match. Oh, plus blood. What the heck is plus blood? What am I gaining points for? Yes, an amusing match, but I'm sure you didn't bring me here to discuss clientele. We've got plenty of time for explanations. Why don't you start with a sample of the den's wares? carefully. He's obviously trying to curry my favor. Although it would be good to loosen up with so many, so many deer. I'm super full. I'm gonna pick wet no matter what. So, with so many deer poisonous variations, it's hard to decide what will hit the spot. I must say, I'm impressed with your discretion. I wouldn't have thought just any fix would do. Thanks, I suppose, but I know it's not from the kindness of your heart. We'll see if you sing the same tune when it's said and done. Now then, what do you think about the entree? I'll prepare appetizers. He takes a small tablet out of his shirt sleeve, cracks it in half, and drops it into the teacup. The other half goes into his own. Homemade remedy, eh? Not to worry. I would have killed both of us. Now would I? Besides, I could have done you. I could have already done you in. Well then, cheers to not killing anyone. Ho ho. 20 vigor, 20 nerve. I don't know what that means, but I'm getting 69. Well then, cheers for not killing anyone. The drug tea restores my spirits instantly. It took me ages to perfect this remedy. I'm not much for cocaine myself, but when it's blended with the turmeric and the resin of to bind the capsule, the ghastly, teeth-gashing anxiety is gone, leaving just euphoria. He perfected cocaine. Self-discipline. Seems like the stranger is no stranger to drugs, and the pains of my withdrawals are all but absent now. And for the main course, how about with wind and artisan brand opium? Elation. You must be fond of that one. His tight-hearted confidence seems like a front, as if he knows you better than he's letting on. Animal instincts. Would somebody please shut her up? This is a bloody stranger. This bloody stranger's already enough trouble. The white wind happens to be my favorite, but of course you already knew that. I know a little something about you, it's true, but it's part of the parcel of my profession. I keep tabs on all people who pique my interest. What is your profession exactly? Let's say I look after Her Majesty's interests with great vigor when they align with my own. Surely he didn't just say Her Majesty. How have you been tracking me? I don't know then. What else do I need to know? I like that one. I am still a bull. It wasn't all that difficult. You only have a few hunts. On with it then. What else do you know? It depends. Do you want the details or should I summarize? I'll have the details. Better now than I'm getting into. Better know what I'm getting into. I know about your life as a roughneck. A streetwise ruffian under an illicit employ. And a panhandling mage, but what about before that? What about the Sacred Heart? Never heard of it. Left. Dang. Failed it. What is it, a church? Tut. I can read that you are a musical instrument. Whatever. I can read you like an instrument. No, alright, I don't know. Now let's play a tune of memory. I'm not so sure what I remember. Even when the mouth is shut and the spirit talks. Now let's have the truth about the orphanage. Bloody mind reader. I like to bash his head in, but I won't I won't cause a scene in the wilderness. It was where I grew up before I looted the nun's coffer and took to the streets. I gather as much. What I'm not sure about is your parents. I don't remember my mother. I went too loud. Ah, darn it. You'll have to do better than that. Nothing gets by me unless for my own good. He's rather determined to pin down these memories. I can't scarcely remember the day that is. How could I dredge up the past with any clarity? Don't worry how clear it is. It's a memory there. We can call it back. There's a bit of Sacred Heart that you seem to have forgotten. But if you remember with the help of Auntie Emma, it could lead to your mother. Lead us to her gravesite, you mean? What would that accomplish? Oh, on the contrary, I believe she's alive. Her name came up in the ledger at the Sun High Security Psychiatric Hospital. As for your father, he was exiled and never seen again. There's no telling if he's still alive. According to the harebrained theory, I suppose, this is the Lotus, not the Bunko Parlor. From the confidence game, it's a card game. Of course, it's just a theory until I match names. I don't suppose you know what your mother's family name is. Perhaps if I racked my brain, but I'm quite sure I'm gonna get it. I didn't think you would. But if your mother's name is on the record of Sacred Heart, and it matches the Santrum Ledger, and then we can have a chance to prove her identity and break her free. I've forgotten all that for good reason. There's nothing but strife in the orphanage. I'm sure my mother's alive. She's forgotten me. I don't mean to sway your opinion in regards, but unless you can think of those troubling times, then you won't be worth more than the price of your head. Offering me a chance, but only if I can drop memories. I can never force your hand. So what'll be? The dream dose, the voyage between the bank's memory, or the death dose and the end of your days? Take the dream dose. I'm not trying to die, what the heck? Take the stranger's offer, eager to lose touch with the harsh reality, and a chance to call back memories and that could lead to your mother's whereabouts. Falling into the opium dream, the stranger's recent inquiry remind you of growing up in the Sacred Heart orphanage. Is that it? So she through the door, leads you back up the back. Was that it? What? Oh, did I lose? I think I lost. Whatever your angle is, there must be something in for me. She's still chiming in, and she has some kind of parental status over me. Let's go on with it. Alright, there's some opium. Teddy's an interesting chap. It's an amusing match. I'm sure he didn't bring me here to discuss clientele. We've got plenty of time for explanations. Why don't we start with sampling some of the wares? With so many deer poisonous variations, I don't know what'll hit the spot. Oh, I thought you would take whatever. Thanks, I suppose, but it's not from the kindness of your heart. We'll see if you sing the same tune after you smoke some of this. And tries. Oh yeah, this is where he gets the little tablet, and I'm like, did you make that yourself? Not to worry, I wouldn't kill both of us. And he takes a sip, and then I'm like, heck yeah, I'm gonna take a sip. What you mean? The drug tea restores my spirits instantly. It took me ages to perfect the dose, fixing the cocaine so that it doesn't make you grind your teeth. This dude knows his drugs, and my withdrawals are gone. How about this with wind elation? It's pretty dank stuff. Man, that's pretty good stuff. I want some of that stuff. Oh man, that's my favorite. I love that stuff. Oh man, I know this. No, because my job. What's your job? Let's say I look after the Queen's interest. I'm like, oh, dope. On with it. What do you want? That depends. Do you want the details? Yeah, I want some details. Well, I know you're a roughneck. I've never heard of it. Man, I'm gonna do left because I feel like yes, left. It had to. Possibly affected those memories with a long rap sheet of debauchery. So tell me about your parents. I never knew my father, but I took him for dead, and I guess my mother couldn't afford to feed me. Sometimes I can't remember what she looks like, but only in the dreams. Right. Yeah. Maybe you're too young to recall, but if you insist on burying the memory in the dream, a voyage is in order. Try smoking some of this crap. Hell yeah, some of this molasses. For all I know, you'll pack me a bowl I won't wake up from. But I never used Auntie to remember anything. Not to worry. I was a field medic in the Crimean War. I know how much Midsummer was to my dream and how dream through an amputation and how much it will bring you to the end of your misery. But for a merciful death, often soldiers press provisions. Let's hope his math is right. As I said, if he wanted to kill you, I would have done it already. He's offering me a chance. I could never force my hand, so whatever it'll be, the dream dose and the voyage between the base memory and the death dose. Take the death dose. Aw, man. You've had it. You can't exist with this merciful life. Bixby brings you over a large lacquered bowl, usually reserved for parties of 4 or 5. He gives you the stranger a worried glance, and then leans over and whispers something inaudible. The stranger nods, then offers his hand, wearing a smug look that seems to assume full responsibility for the deadly amount of opium on the table. Testing the textures with the ceramic serving spoons, you scoop out the heaping pile of crumbly concentrate, rich and pale tan like foamy espresso. The aroma is intoxicating, making your skin crawl with yearning. You light up, inhaling the acrid smoky deeply. The longer you hold your breath, the more that your lungs burn, crying for oxygen. And by the time you breathe out again, the red walls are misty and light seems like a lie. Darkness envelops your body and mind as the grim angel of death appears in your vision, a hood figure offering a pale white hand from its cloak. a hand which you can take as you pull to your feet, weightless, whacking with feeling and emotion. This is the end, the glory, omniscient retry. You want some opium? Hell yeah, I want some opium. You got plenty of time for explanations, but here, try some of this opium. Alright. There's so many, which one should I choose? Oh, I didn't think it mattered. Oh, it matters. But I know you're not doing this because you're nice. Fine, I'm not doing that, it's whatever, I got you though. Get some appetizers. And he pulls out a pill. I'm like, ooh, you got some pills? Yeah, I want to try this pill. And I get, what? It keeps going up. That's cool. So by the end of this, if I can get past this conversation, I'm gonna have 100%. I love this stuff. Whatever. It was where I grew up. I'm gonna try that. I never knew my father. I can scarcely remember the past clearly. According to this harebrained theory, I suppose this is... Perhaps I'll wreck my brain. I'll take the dream dose. Is that it? Is this it? That's cool.